As a teen, our guest, Kate, was diagnosed with multi-system organ failure and experienced a miraculous cure. Kate, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to talk about that book in a second.
Okay.
You just amazed me before we came on here, but we're going to wait a second.
Okay.
You know, 1992 was a long time ago. Something miraculous happened that year, though. Tell us about this.
Yes, I had been living in Ireland with my mom and dad, and we came back to Central New York for summer vacation, as we often did throughout my childhood. I didn't feel well, which, long story short, was that I was in a hospital bed, and a doctor said to me, "I'm from oncology." And I said, "Hi, I'm Katy Mahoney, I'm from Virginia." I was diagnosed with stage 4 malignant germ cell ovarian cancer. A tumor the size of a basketball was removed from my abdomen, and I began very aggressive treatment protocol, which ultimately led to the multi-system organ failure you referenced. But my discharge papers from the intensive care unit stated that my recovery could not be explained medically.
Wow. Now, 92 is a long time ago, but the 19th century is even longer ago. You attribute this miraculous cure, first of all, to the love of God and His care for you, but also a saint.
Yes, Sr Marianne Cope. Originally from Germany, became a sister in the Franciscan order, founded hospitals, and widely known for her work in Hawaii with the lepers.
And how is it that you attribute her prayers
We were introduced, and obviously, you know, she was deceased during my case, but we were introduced to her through Sister Mary Lawrence Hanley. So thank a nun day. Thank you, Sister Mary Lawrence Hanley, and all the sisters in Hawaii and Syracuse. But she was in charge of the cause for sainthood, and she approached my parents while I was in intensive care and began the documentation, compiling of that information, the prayers. Each organ system recovered in connection with prayer to a place where doctors could resume, you know, their medical expertise in capable hands.
And here you are.
Yeah.
And here, okay, so the book. Tell me about the book.
This is called a Positio, and it is the Vatican document which contains testimony from doctors, different religious people, and many people don't know, it's non-denominational. The experts that speak on behalf of a case to prove that it was in fact a miracle. So this also includes my medical charts and anything connected with my miracle in 1992-93.
So a lot of that book is about you.
Yes, in fact, this is just my copy about me.
Just about you, that whole
Yeah.
book. Wow, that is incredible. Well, you know, Bishop Larry Silver of Hawaii, he's going to be our guest on Fridays. This is a day to talk about St. Marianne, and she's going to be canonized in 2012. What does that mean to you? It was canonized.
Yes, she was canonized in 2012. For me, I think, and not to downplay it or be disrespectful, I think my family didn't need any kind of notification that was formal, that she was a saint. But I will tell you, to be in Italy with the Sisters of St. Francis and see in their eyes the magnitude and joy of that elevation and that title was just, I mean, it was worth every second.
Well, your mom's here, right?
She is, yeah.
We didn't have to, we were all set with that beforehand, right? I just want to make sure. Good, okay, great, great.
You know, every once in a while you meet somebody who's experienced a miracle, but you know, many of us haven't. Before this happened, did you really believe in miracles?
Yes.
You did?
Yes. I think they come in all shapes and sizes, and I think especially in illness, we focus on what recovery can mean, so that's the big miracle. But the people that cared for me, the relationships that I built in the medical community and in my faith community, every single moment in that relationship, those are miracles too.
A lot of people don't, you know, when they're not Catholic, they don't understand our veneration of the saints.
Yes.
But it's really a relationship. It's like a friendship. They're part of the church. They're part of our lives, and they pray for us. Has this changed your kind of relationship with St. Marianne Cope and others who have gone before us? Has it made it more real?
It's humanized it, which is exactly what you're saying. It made it real. The access to saints, whereas in previous generations, and we know in our history, they're put on pedestals, and for good reason, because there are miracles that we know of and there are stories that inspire us.
Sure.
But in their own lives, they just were good people caring for everyone in their day-to-day, and we are capable of that. So I think the access to that concept is very powerful.
You know, we just have a minute left. What has been the reaction of people when you tell your story?
I'd like to say predominantly it is one of hope. I think I can represent for people going through crisis or illness, you know, the other side of that journey. But we all know that for as many miracles there are, there's the reality that not everybody survives an illness like mine. And so we grapple with that, but I've learned from St. Marianne compassion at all costs. So very little of my exchange with others has much to do with me.
Compassion at all costs. I like that theme.
And I have to tell you, I've never had any book
The
written about me.
Posizio.
And look at
Yes,
that.
the Posizio.
Well, thanks so much, Kate, for joining us today. And your
Thank
mom,
you.
thanks
Yes, thank
for being
you.
with us.
And again, thank the nuns.
And thank the nuns.